University Challenge. Asking the questions, Amol Ranjan.
Hello and welcome to University Challenge. Our double elimination quarter-final stage concludes tonight. Just one place in the semi-finals remains up for grabs, and whoever wins this match will take it, joining Christ College Cambridge, Darwin College Cambridge and Warwick. For the losing team, however, this will unfortunately be the end of the road. The team from Queen's University Belfast and their distinctive mascot, Percy, are here tonight having beaten Liverpool comfortably in round one, Cardiff a lot less comfortably in round two, and Imperial on a tie-break in their second quarter-final. They lost their first quarter-final, however, against the University of Warwick. They've been consistently strong so far on film, political history and philosophy and pop music, and their average score per game has been 175. Let's meet the team from Queen's University Belfast for the fifth time.
Hello, I'm Sarah Carlisle. I'm from Balnahinch and I'm studying English with Creative Writing.
Hi, I'm Jason McKillen. I'm from Belfast. I'm studying for a PhD in Artificial Intelligence.
And their captain.
Hi, I'm Daniel Rankin from County Down, studying politics, philosophy and economics.
Hi, I'm Sam Thompson. I'm from Lim Valley and I'm studying physics.
The team from the University of Bristol have got to this point by beating Gonville and Keyes College Cambridge in round one, the University of Exeter in round two, and the Open University in their first quarter-final. They then lost on a tie-break in their second quarter-final with Darwin College Cambridge, proving fractionally quicker to recognise the final lines of John Keats' Ode to Autumn. They've looked particularly impressive so far on fine art, chemistry and biology, and their average score per game is 225. Let's meet the team from Bristol once again.
Hi, I'm Ted Warner, I'm from Wiltshire and I'm studying biology.
Hi, I'm Bridie Rogers, I'm from Brighton and I study medicine.
And their captain.
Hi, I'm Kevin Flanagan. I'm from Dublin and I'm doing a PhD in AI.
Hi, I'm Olivia Watts. I'm from York and I'm doing a PhD in organic chemistry.
Hey guys, this is it. Your date with Destiny, last chance saloon. You feeling ready? Good. It's too late now. Here we go. Fingers on buzzers. Here's your first start of a 10 for a place in the semi-finals. Good luck. In the Bible, what is the usual English translation of the Hebrew term shofet, referring to a specific position or role, holders of which included the following: Othniel, Gideon.
Queen's Rankin.
Judge.
It is a judge, yes. Well done. Your bonuses, Queens, are three questions on works by the Scottish architect Thomas S. Tate. While working at John Burnett and Partners, Tate designed the two pairs of 90-metre-tall granite-faced pylons that stand at either end of which major feat of engineering in the Southern Hemisphere, completed in 1932?
Southern Hemisphere, Christ the Redeemer, maybe, something like that.
Two pylons.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Could it be the Panama Canal?
That's
It could be Suez. Well, Suez is also another one, isn't it?
Sydney Harbour Bridge or something.
Major feat of engineering.
Sydney Harbour
Sydney Harbour
Bridge.
Bridge.
Yeah, Sydney Harbour Bridge.
Well worked out. Tate's works in Scotland include the current home of the Scottish Government, an Art Deco building on the south side of Carlton Hill, known by what name?
Is it Hollywood?
Yeah. Hollywood.
No, it's St Andrew's House. Tate collaborated with sculptor Charles Jagger on a memorial to the employees of the Great Western Railway who were killed in World War I that is located on Platform 1 of which major London rail station?
King's Cross, perhaps?
Right.
King's Cross.
No, it's Paddington. Let's start the question. Which writer's work for the New York Review of Books included a 1991 article casting doubt on the verdict in the Central Park 5 case and reportage from El Salvador later published in book form? She is the subject of the 2017 documentary The Centre Will Not Hold, whose title comes from the same W.B. Yeats poem from which she took the title of her essay collection, Slouching Towards...
Bristol Warner.
Joan Didion.
It is indeed, yeah. Three questions on former Dutch colonies in the Americas. In the early 17th century, the Dutch built Fort Nassau and Fort Orange on the Hudson River at a site that later became which present-day US state capital?
Albany? Maybe. Is Washington on the Hudson or is New York on... I think it's New York on the Hudson.
Hudson is New York.
So probably Albany then.
Could be Albany or could be... Yeah.
Is that too obvious?
Like Penn.
No,
Go with it, yeah. Albany?
Yes. In 1630, the Dutch captured which city in northeast Brazil, holding it for 24 years? It is now the capital of Pernambuco state.
Right, I don't know this, but that's like right at the top left. I'd probably guess like Recife, maybe?
Recife.
Recife.
Recife?
Correct. Named after a river that flows into the Atlantic, Essequibo was a Dutch colony in what present-day country? In 1815, it was ceded to another European power.
Ooh, I want to say Nicaragua, maybe. I want to say something where the Bay of Mosquitoes is, or whatever that Mosquito Coast. So I think it's Nicaragua.
Okay, Nicaragua.
It's Guyana. Let's start the question. The reign of which English monarch saw all of the following? The consecration of the present Salisbury Cathedral, the marriage of Isabella of England to the Emperor Frederick II, the death of the Welsh ruler Llewellyn the Great,
Bristol Warner.
Henry III?
It is Henry III, yeah. 3 questions for you, Bristol, on long-term experiments in biology. One of the longest-running scientific experiments, the park grass experiment, is a biological study of plant diversity that has been going on since 1856 at which research institute in Hertfordshire?
Is Kew in Hertfordshire?
Hertfordshire.
It's not, is it? I don't know if I know any research institutes in Hertfordshire, to be honest.
I don't know.
Any guesses? No. Okay, pass.
It's Rothamsted. Run for over 60 years by Lyudmila Trut, an experiment in Siberia studies the effects of selective breeding on the domestication of animals belonging to which mammalian genus? You may give its common name.
I think it's just Canis, I think.
Okay. Yeah.
I think? Oh, no, it might be Vulpes. I think it's foxes.
Okay, Siberia.
Vulpes?
Okay. Vulpes.
Yes, for fox. Well done. The city of Framingham in Massachusetts is the subject of an ongoing study on what class of diseases, which are the most common cause of mortality in developed countries?
Just like non-communicable diseases?
Or heart, yeah.
Or cardiovascular diseases?
Yeah, I think that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah?
Have we got that?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cardiovascular.
It is indeed, yep. Picture round now, and for your picture starter, you'll see the final stage directions of a play which premiered in 1988 but is set in the 1780s. For 10 points, give the title of the play. Anyone want to have a guess? No, I'll tell you. It's Our Country's Good. We'll take your picture bonuses when we get started right. I think those picture bonuses may take some time. Born in 1894, which astronomer and cosmologist's works include the 1927 paper, A Homogeneous Universe of Constant Mass and Increasing
Queen's Rankin.
Hubble.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. And increasing radius, accounting for the radial velocity of extragalactic nebulae. And the 1931 paper, The Beginning of the World from the Point of View of Quantum Theory, the latter marking the first explicit formulation of what Fred Hoyle would later call the Big Bang Theory.
Bristol Flanagan.
Lemaitre.
Yes, it is. Well done. Georges Lemaitre, exactly right. Following on from the final stage directions of Our Country's Good by Timberlake Wurton Baker, which you saw for your picture starter, your picture bonuses will be the final stage directions of 3 more plays. And again, in each case, I just want you to give me the play's title. Firstly, this play, which premiered at the National Theatre in 2012.
2012.
Okay.
Recent. Christopher. Oh, it's like
Some mathematical contemporary play.
Something to do with like Pythagoras.
I
Could just say Pythagoras or something. Pythagoras.
That's the curious incident of the dog in the nighttime
Oh
by
my
Simon
God.
Stevens. Yeah, exactly. Secondly, this play, which premiered at the Royal Court in 2009.
I'm not going much use here, I'm afraid.
Do you have anything at all?
Warhorse or something? I don't know.
Warhorse. Yeah, fine.
Not an awful guess.
Warhorse.
It's Jerusalem by Jez Butterworth. And finally, this comedy, first performed in 1982.
Is it something like Harold Pinter or something like that? I don't know.
Wait, that's a play.
For like
Birthday party, maybe?
the chairs. Oh yeah, it could be a Pinter one. Maybe the
don't know.
birthday party.
Come
Yeah,
on.
why not? The birthday party.
No, it's Noises Off by Michael Frayn. Let's start the question. In the 1940s, film producers David Lowe and Albert Levin invited 12 major surrealist artists to compete to produce a painting for use in their film The Private Affairs of Bel Ami. The subject of the painting was to be which saint? Max Ernst's winning work shows this figure in a dense landscape full of leering demons, while Salvador...
Bristol Flanagan.
St. Anthony.
It is St. Anthony, yes, well done. Your bonuses, Bristol, are on fine art in the films of Andrei Tarkovsky. The 1962 film Ivan's Childhood includes a sequence where Ivan leafs through a book of reproductions of woodcuts by which German artist, born 1471. He lingers on the artist's depiction of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, looking at its figures in detail.
I think
Yeah,
Jur would make
there are
sense.
other ones, but I think that might be when he was born.
Yeah, around that time. Jur.
Yes. Which Russian icon painter, born around 1360, is the subject of a heavily fictionalised biographical film of 1966 by Tarkovsky? It ends with a sequence of details of his paintings, the only section of the film in colour.
Well, I don't know any Russian painters from that period at all. If we're not going to pull it, I think we should pass.
When was he? Was it later?
Who?
Ilya Raffin.
No, way later. Pass.
Pass.
It's Andrei Rublev. Tarkovsky's 1972 film Solaris features extreme close-ups of which artist's 1565 painting Hunters in the Snow?
Oh, that's Bruegel the Elder, right?
Yeah.
Bruegel.
It is Bruegel the Elder, yeah. Another starter question. I need a single short word here. What non-metallic mechanical component do some cyclists prefer to a chain for reasons of low maintenance and durability? The same word appears in the English names of various straits in Denmark and in regions of the solar system. For example, the one that lies beyond the orbit of Neptune.
Queen's ranking.
A belt?
It is a belt, yes. 3 questions for you, Queens, on a theatre company. Flower, Moon, Snow, Star and Cosmos are the 5 troupes that make up which Japanese theatre company founded in 1914? All its performers are women who are divided into sections specialising in male and female roles, respectively.
Any idea?
I don't know.
Like Japanese, kabuki, something like that. Well, that's the... No, we'll pass.
It's Takarazuka. Significant Takarazuka productions include an adaptation of which 1972 shoujo manga by Ryoko Ikeda. Set during the French Revolution, its characters include the androgynous Oscar, a woman raised as a boy who becomes commander of Marie Antoinette's royal guard.
No, pass.
The Rose of Versailles. The actors of the Takarazuka Revue inspired the main character of Princess Knight, an influential shoujo manga of the 1950s by which major artist, also known for the series Black Jack and Astro Boy?
Miyazaki.
It's Tezuka Osamu. Let's start the question. Born in Algeria in 1940, which American film editor has received a record 9 Academy Award nominations for her work and has won a joint...
Queen's ranking.
Thelma Schoonmaker.
Well done. It is indeed, yes. Your bonuses are on a songbird. A member of the finch family, the common linnet takes its name from its liking for the seeds of what plant from which linen is made? I just need a 4-letter common name.
Flax.
Yes. The cock linnet song is an alternative name for which music hall song that concerns a moonlight flit? You may give the full title or the first 3 words of the song.
Any idea?
Just a song at Twilight is the only one I can think of. Song about moonlight. I don't know.
Sunrum. Yeah. Dominic Carlisle.
Oh, no, I didn't know that. Just a song at Twilight.
No, it's Don't Dilly Dally on the Way, or My Old Man. The Linnets is a fan-owned football club based in which large town close to the Mersey estuary? Together with Widnes, it forms the borough of Holton.
Fan-owned football club? Any?
Mersey.
Oh, go on, take a guess.
Don't know.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
Nominate Thompson.
Crew.
No, it's Runcorn. Let's start the question. Music round now. And for your music starter, you're going to hear a piece of popular music. For 10 points, give the name of the singer.
Queen's Thompson.
Ray.
No. You can hear a bit more, Bristol.
Bristol what?
Amy Winehouse.
No. It's Erykah Badu. Oh. Come on, guys. Right, we'll take your music bonuses in a second. In art and architecture, what polysyllabic adjective can precede style to refer to a modernist movement in architecture exemplified by Bertold Lubetkin's High Point 1 in Highgate, and Gothic to name a style associated with artists such as the Limbourg brothers in the...
Bristol Flanagan.
Perpendicular.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. In the later Middle Ages.
Queen's McKillen.
Neil.
No, it's international. Born in 1875, which US physical chemist popularized the term photon to describe a quantifiable unit of radiant energy? He is credited with the discovery of the covalent bond, and his name is given to diagrams that display...
Bristol what?
Lewis.
It is Gilbert Lewis, yes, well done. For your music starter, a while ago now, you heard On and On by Erykah Badu, one of the leading artists in the 1990s neo-soul movement. Your music bonuses, Bristol, will be 3 tracks from the debut albums of 3 more leading neo-soul artists. 5 points for each artist you can name. First. Let me tell you about this girl, maybe I should. I met her in Philly
Do we know anyone else associated with like Neo Soul?
Yeah, you can just name names if anyone you might think.
But it's not him.
Gregory Porter.
But it's
Come
not
on.
him.
Okay, we'll just move on then.
Nominate Rogers.
Leon Bridges.
No, it's D'Angelo with Brown Sugar. Secondly,
Barely hear them. Have you got anything? I think we should probably just move on.
Was it Porter?
no, it's Maxwell. Something. And finally,
Yeah, that's Lauren Hill.
Hill.
it's Lauren Hill, yeah. Do what that thing. Let's start the question now. The island of Bioko is the northernmost territory of which country?
Bristol Warner.
Equatorial Guinea.
Well done. Certainly is. Your three bonuses, Bristol, are on eponymous concepts in topology. Which Polish mathematician gives his name to a theorem which states that every contraction mapping on a complete metric space has a unique fixed point?
Any Polish mathematicians?
I feel like I should know one, but I don't.
Is Mandelbrot? I don't know. Mandelbrot?
No, it's Banach. Which German mathematician gives his name to a topological space in which any two distinct points both have neighbourhoods which are disjoint from each other?
No, I've got no idea. Do you have anything?
No.
Pass.
It's Felix Hausdorff. Which French mathematician gives his name to a conjecture which concerns higher dimensional spaces that locally resemble three-dimensional space? In 2006, Grigori Perelman was awarded but declined the Fields Medal for his proof of the conjecture.
Someone solved it recently, didn't they?
Poincaré?
It is indeed. Well done. Let's start the question. Which 18th century figure is the subject of actor Patterson Joseph's debut novel, published in 2022 and awarded the Royal Society of Literature's Christopher Bland Prize? Born on a slave ship, he later became a noted abolitionist, writer and...
Bristol Warner.
Lauda Equiano.
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points.
Sorry.
And composer, and is the first known person of African descent to have voted in a British general election.
Queen's Rankin.
Sancho.
It is Sancho, yes, indeed. Your bonuses then, Queens, are on philosophers, each of whom is a subject of an essay in the 2020 work, The Philosopher Queens, edited by Lisa Whiting and Rebecca Buxton. In each case, identify the person from the description. First, a thinker and writer born in 1807, whose works include the 1851 piece Enfranchisement of Women. She was a contributor not always credited to the work of her second husband, John Stuart Mill.
It's not going to be Mary Wollstonecraft.
No, she used it.
Any idea? From like mid-19th century? We'll pass.
It's Harriet Taylor. Secondly, an Alexandrian philosopher, astronomer and mathematician who wrote a commentary on Diophantus's Arithmetica. In 415 CE, she was murdered by a mob who resented her supposed political influence.
Alexandrian?
Yeah. Hypatia is a female philosopher. Hypatia?
Yes, Hypatia. Finally, an Irish-born author whose primary philosophical work was the 1970 book, The Sovereignty of the Good. Better known as a novelist, she won the 1978 Booker Prize for The Sea, the Sea.
Iris Murdoch. Yeah. Iris Murdoch.
Yes. Let's start the question. Fingers on buzzers. What Italian term refers to a genre of post-romantic Italian opera originating in the late 19th century that includes Leoncavallo's Pagliacci and Giordano's Andrea Cheniere? Following an earlier literary movement of the same name, it rejected...
Queen's Rankin.
Realismo?
No, I'm afraid you lose 5 points. It rejected the traditional operatic focus on myths and royalty and took its subject matter from contemporary everyday life. I'll tell you, it's Verismo. Now, let's start the question. Coined in the subtitle of a 1942 book by Julian Huxley, what two-word term describes the integration of Mendelian inheritance with both population genetics...
Bristol Warner.
Modern synthesis?
It is indeed, yeah. Your bonuses, Bristol, are 3 questions on East Asian cities. Okay. With a name meaning Kettle Mountain, which major city is a terminus of ferries linking South Korea with several ports in Japan?
Tsushima, maybe? Because that's like halfway between.
Yeah.
It's between South Korea and Japan.
Okay.
Oh, I think I've... So Tsushima.
Tsushima's halfway across.
Yeah, okay, Tsushima.
Yes, Busan. Its name meaning Pine Tree Mountain, Matsuyama is the largest city on which Japanese island?
Oh, okay.
So it's not going to be.
I'd probably
the obvious
probably
ones.
guess Shikoku.
Shikoku. It's not Kyushu.
It's not Kyushu. I don't think it's Kyushu.
Probably Shikoku. Then.
Yeah.
Shikoku.
Yes. Foshan, meaning Buddha Mountain, is a major city on the Pearl River Delta in which Chinese province?
That's Guangdong.
Guangdong.
It is indeed. Picture round now, and for your picture starter, you're going to see a statue of a historical figure. 10 points if you can identify him.
Bristol Flanagan.
Oh, Hillary.
No.
Queen's McKillen.
Roald Amundsen.
No, it's Robert Falcon Scott. We'll take your picture bonuses if we get started right. Fingers on buzzers. In a culinary context, what English word can mean both a process of slowly heating and cooling chocolate so that its fat molecules crystallize evenly?
Bristol what?
Tempering.
It is indeed, yes. The statue of the explorer Robert Falcon Scott that you saw for your picture starter was by his wife Kathleen. Kathleen Scott was a noted and prolific sculptor. And for your picture bonuses, you're going to see 3 of her portrait busts. I want you to name the subject in each case. First, this writer.
Was that Shaw?
Yeah, you might be right, actually.
I don't know why he's got his head in his hands, but maybe it looks a bit like him. Shaw?
Yes, George Bernard Shaw. Secondly, this figure in the media industry.
Who could that be? Like a newspaper owner or something like that? I don't know.
William Randolph Hearst. I don't know.
Nominate Warner.
William Randolph Hearst.
No. He's the reason we're here. It's John Reith, founder of the BBC. And finally, this politician.
That's David Lloyd George, I think.
Actually, that does look like him.
Yeah.
Okay, David Lloyd George.
It is David Lloyd George, yeah. Let's start the question. Named after an Oklahoma state park, which social psychology experiment conducted by Sheriff and Sheriff in 1954?
Bristol Warner.
Robbers Cave experiment.
It is the Robbers Cave experiment. 3 questions for you, Bristol, on ancient regions of Anatolia, or Asia Minor. Its name meaning sea in Greek. Which ancient region was located on the south coast of the Black Sea? Its rulers included Mithridates VI, who challenged Roman power in Asia Minor.
Pontus, yeah.
Pontus.
Yes. Located on the central plateau of Anatolia, which ancient kingdom is associated with legendary rulers such as Midas and Gordius, the creator of the Gordian knot?
I'd probably guess like Cappadocia. I'm not really sure. It's in the middle, so.
Yeah. Okay, Cappadocia.
It's Phrygia. Croesus and Gyges were among rulers of which kingdom to the west of Phrygia? It was said to have been the first country to use coined money.
Yeah, Lydia.
Lydia.
Okay, Lydia.
It is indeed Lydia. 5 minutes to go. In graph theory, the Floyd-Warshall algorithm, the Bellman-Ford algorithm, the reaching algorithm, and Dijkstra's algorithm.
Bristol Flanagan.
Like shortest path finding.
Yes, absolutely right. Well done. Your bonuses then, Bristol, are 3 questions on the US chemist Robert Burns Woodward. In 1954, Woodward and his group reported the first total synthesis of which poisonous alkaloid with the molecular formula C21H22N2O2. Obtained naturally from the Nux vomica tree, it features in Arthur Conan Doyle's The Sign of 4
That makes
and
sense.
Agatha Christie's The Mysterious Affair at Styles.
I reckon.
Strychnine, yeah. Okay, strychnine.
Yes. With Roald Hoffman, Woodward created a namesake set of rules to predict the outcomes of what class of concerted chemical reactions. Its subtypes include cycloadditions, sigmatropic reactions, and electrocyclic reactions.
Pericyclic.
Yeah.
Pericyclic?
Yes.
Hold on.
With Albert Eschenmoser, Woodward also developed the only known total synthesis of what compound, the most complex vitamin used in the human body. The structure of this vitamin features a central atom of cobalt in a Corrin ring.
I think it's. Do you say B12? That's what I was thinking, yeah.
Yeah, okay, B12. B12?
It is vitamin B12, yes. Let's start the question. Situated in Slovakia, what is the highest mountain in the Carpathians? An informal name of this peak is the same as that of the German physicist who, in the early 1920s, carried out a noted experiment on the quantization of electron spin, along with Otto Stern.
Bristol Flanagan.
Gerlach?
Yes, Gerlach Peak is the informal name mentioned. The mountain is Gerlachowski Steet. 3 questions for you, Bristol, on health economics. When used in health economics as a comparative measure for assessing health outcomes, for what does the abbreviation QALY stand?
QALY.
Quality adjusted life years, I think.
Okay, nominate Rogers.
Quality adjusted life years?
Yeah. For what do the letters VAS stand when referring to a numerical measure typically scored from 1 to 10 and used as a subjective assessment of a health state?
Assessment
10.
score.
Do you have any
Yeah,
ideas?
something score, I imagine.
Any words?
I
Value.
no.
Pass.
It's visual analog scale. When referring to a hypothetical situation in which participants are asked to opt for or against taking a treatment with known probabilities of risk and harm, the letters SG stand for standard what?
Standard guidance or
Maybe, yeah. That would make sense.
any other ideas?
I don't know.
Okay,
on.
standard guidance.
Let's gamble. Let's start the question. In the 18th century, which empire was ruled by the Zand dynasty?
Queen's ranking.
Iran.
It is the Iranian Empire, yes. Your bonuses are 3 questions on Shakespeare. In Julius Caesar, which character does Caesar describe as having a lean and hungry look, adding that he thinks too much? Such men are dangerous.
Cassius.
Yes. In A Comedy of Errors, which character is described as a hungry, lean-faced villain, a mere anatomy, a mountebank, a threadbare juggler, and a fortune teller? He attempts to perform an exorcism on one of the Antiphili.
Now pass.
It's Dr. Pinch. In one of the histories, which character is sarcastically hailed by one of his friends as Lean Jack, my sweet creature of bombast, before being asked, how long is it ago since thou sawest thine own knee?
King John.
No, it's Falstaff. That's Prince Hal. Created in 1971, which classification system groups viruses into 7 types, depending on their mechanism of synthesizing messenger RNA? Although it is named after the scientist who proposed it, it shares its name with a major US city on Chesapeake Bay.
Queen's ranking.
Washington.
No,
Bristol Warner.
Baltimore.
it is Baltimore, yes. Your bonuses are on notable students of the physicist Arnold Sommerfeld. Name each from the description. First, a German-American physicist born in 1906. He completed his doctorate with Sommerfeld on the diffraction of electrons in crystals and was awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics for, quote, his contributions to the theory of nuclear reactions, especially his discoveries concerning the energy production in stars.
Oh, like that's not Helmholtz, is it? I was thinking Fraunhofer with the diffraction thing, but I don't know. It might be Helmholtz. Fraunhofer.
No, it's Hans Bethe. Secondly, a German-British physicist born in 1907 who studied under Sommerfeld at Munich for 2 years, together with Otto Frisch. He co-authored the first technical exposition of a practical atomic weapon while working at Birmingham University in 1940.
I can't think of anyone. I'm just going to pass.
It's Rudolf Peierls. Finally, an Austrian physicist who also completed his doctorate under Sommerfeld. He won a Nobel Prize for an eponymous principle in quantum mechanics that states that and at the goal, Queen's University Belfast has 65 and Bristol have 200. Well played, guys. The answer to the last one was Wolfgang Pauli. Queens, oh, guys, what a run you've had, and how wonderful to have gotten to know you and to have gotten to know Percy. I mean, the main thing is, Daniel, you're always going to have George II, which was your winning answer, which is immortality against Imperial, the reigning champions in your last match. How have you found the experience?
Had the absolute time of our lives. It was brilliant.
Well,
Thank you so
and I know
much.
how much, talking to a few of you away from the studio, I know how much this means to you and your families. So thank you so much for being such fantastic players and being such a wonderful part of the series. Bristol, that was such an impressive performance. You are now through to the semi-finals together with your slightly bigger mascot. How's it feel?
Amazing.
Good.
Yeah.
Well, we look forward to seeing you again. I hope you could join us next time for the first of this year's semi-finals. But until then, it is goodbye from Queen's University Belfast.
Goodbye.
Bye.
It's goodbye for now from Bristol.
Goodbye.
Bye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.